It is 2016 again. And once again, we have an accomplished, successful, ambitious woman taking on Donald Trump. Don't freak out. Don't worry. This is not a political post. Well, kind of. Hi, this is Lily coming at you from the Empowerment Unleashed channel here on YouTube. And today I'm going to talk a little bit about a personal experience that I had when Kamala Harris was chosen as President Biden's VP back in 2020. So this is not an in-person encounter, but this is an experience that was completely born out of her being chosen as the VP. Alrighty, let's set the scene. Let's go back to 2020. It was the height of the quarantine. Everything was locked down. Everything got moved to Zoom. And I was also doing what most of the world was doing at the time as a creative artist. We were all looking for ways to pivot. So the door that opened for me at the time was the door to this that I'm doing right now, speaking and setting up this kind of environment where I get to actually come out and share my life experiences with all of you. And this feeling of pivoting was also being echoed in the political world. Most of the world, 80 million of American citizens, were looking to move away from the world that Donald Trump had created in the last 4 years and move into a more democratic world that, as it looked like back then, was going to be led by President Biden and his chosen VP. But there was also this subtle desire of a change, of pivoting to maybe the next generation and sort of making America seem a lot more representative of what it actually is in real life, and to have that mirror in the political world also. And Kamala Harris became the name that started getting floated as the potential VP candidate. We were skeptical because she was definitely a pivot choice, but it seems like she would be a good fit. And on August 11, 2020, that is literally what happened. And we were sitting, and I still remember I was sitting that day on my bed because I was just not really feeling very good. And my phone just dinged really loud. And I was like, where is that coming from? So I kind of ignored it. And soon enough, my phone kind of buzzed again. And this time I glanced over, and there on my phone, I saw this giant notification that said that President Biden had in fact chosen Kamala Harris to be his vice president, to be his running mate. As soon as I got that, I just interrupted whoever was speaking, and I just announced it to everybody. My friends, this has happened. She has been chosen. History has been made. We all erupted in cheers. We went crazy. We were high-fiving, virtually high-fiving, and we were all kind of really, we were talking about how we kind of wanted it to be her, but we wanted a woman on the ticket, but we really weren't sure because we really wanted to, end, Donald Trump's run. So there was this cautious kind of optimism going on. But we all erupted. We were all very, very happy. This woman, a woman of color, daughter of immigrants, half Jamaican, half Indian, just everything about her, an uber successful woman, right woman at the right time with the right credentials. And she looked smart, and she had a functioning brain, and she was a prosecutor. On and on we went. We were very, very happy. We, in fact, felt very, very proud of the moment that we had just been witness to. And so basically, I think all next day, maybe next couple days or something, everything was all about Kamala. She just exploded on the news because it was a historic moment that had happened in American politics, and people were celebrating or they were not. Either way, Kamala dominated the news. Now, like most Americans, I also didn't know a lot about Kamala, but one thing that I did know about her was that she was a strong, proud Black woman. And that was kind of the news that got covered about her, for the next couple of days. But then slowly, this news started coming in about her, how she was half Jamaican and half Indian, which really, really surprised me because I'm also an Indian woman. But I didn't know that she was half Indian, that her mom has Tamil roots. One thing that I was very clear on, and I firmly had this discussion with my mom as well at the time, that we need to recognize Kamala as a strong, proud Black woman. The reason being, that is how she sees herself. It was very important that we don't start projecting our expectations of who we think she is supposed to be onto her. So even though she and continues to be to this day, half Jamaican and half Indian, she primarily identifies with her Black heritage. And I was like, as a symbol of respect, we have to acknowledge that she sees herself as a Black woman. And this is something she even acknowledged in her vice presidential nomination acceptance speech, I believe, where she said that her mom raised both her and her sister to be strong, proud Black women. So as far as I was concerned, the argument was settled. We see her as she wishes to be seen. A couple days after that, my phone rings again. And this time, this is a phone call from a former friend, someone that I hadn't spoken to in years and really didn't even consider a friend anymore. And I was really shocked. I'm like, why is this person calling me? Like, it was so jarring that I didn't answer my phone. I just let it go to voicemail. And I was like, I don't know what this is about. I just wasn't in any kind of headspace to answer that and deal with that. So I just let it go to voicemail. But my spidey senses were tingling and I was kind of curious. So after listening to the voicemail where he kind of said, hey, call me back, I actually did. And he kind of said, you know, I have a script for you that I wrote specifically for you, and I would like to gift it to you. Yeah, I was shell-shocked. A script for me? I haven't been perfect for anything in Hollywood for a long time. I have never really been considered like a perfect casting for any role. I am no one's dream casting, let's just put it that way. And here this white male 20-year writer, a veteran of the Hollywood industry saying, hey, I have a script for you that I think you would be perfect for. There's that word again, perfect. So, sure enough, I didn't really know how to respond to that, but I was like, you know, I was incredibly grateful, and I said that would be great. But inside, my senses were like, what's up? Why am I perfect all of a sudden? This has never happened. What role did he write that he was all of a sudden thinking about casting me in a role that I would be perfect for? A word that he actually used quite a number of times. And I remember I came downstairs right after the call and I turned on the TV, and on TV there was a documentary, a biography of Kamala Harris on TV, where they were talking about both her father and her mother and their heritage. And ding, 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 the light bulb moment happened. I understood why he called me, because they were talking about Kamala's Indian heritage and they were talking about it nonstop. It helped my former friend connect her Indianness to my Indianness. Her presence on his screen became a reminder of my presence in Hollywood. And it became a springboard for him to now think of me as somebody who could be center stage, who could take up space, who could be important, who could be valid, who could tell a story that people would want to listen to, that people could potentially engage with, and someone who could occupy center stage and rally the world around. It kind of felt like it was probably the first time that my friend had really seen me. Because up until now, this is again my guess and my thinking, he probably saw me as somebody who was incidental to the American story, to the American way of living, to the Hollywood storytelling, and to the Hollywood way of living. Somebody who was secondary. But Kamala's presence center stage somehow either gave him the permission or gave him the awareness to think of me as somebody who could also occupy center stage in American world, in American storytelling. So before I move forward with this story, I really want to highlight the simple thing, the value of being seen, being heard, being represented. It can happen so quickly, and it can have such a deep, profound, life-changing impact. It creates opportunities not for those who live at the top, but also trickles down all the way to the very, very bottom of any culture or society in this world. You know, I'm still me. I'm still the same actress I was 10 years ago. Perhaps I'm a little bit better now. I do have some experience, but I'm still me. I still have those formative life experiences. I still have the voice. I still have the intelligence. I still have the ability to work hard, and I still have the skill. But what I didn't have before was a voice, which Kamala gave me. She gave me this voice. She gave me the ability to be seen center stage. And it happened like that. The world immediately pivoted in the way that it was looking at me. It started seeing me as a person, as a human, as an artist, with a lot more empathy, with a lot more consideration and care. And I'll say it again, that is the power of being seen, being heard, of being represented and having a voice. And that was just the beginning, by the way. That one experience also dovetailed into a lot of other experiences where all of a sudden I was being asked to do podcast appearances. People wanted to know my journey as an American woman of color, where I was now being considered for stronger roles, better roles. I was being considered with a lot more empathy and respect. So yes, there was a transformative change that happened just around Hollywood and then in American culture in general. But that in the end only became the secondary lesson that I learned from this experience. The greater lesson that I learned in that moment was the importance of seeing people just as they are right here, right now. Let's walk away from the idea of falling in love with people's potential and start falling in love with people as they are in this moment. We should really commit to seeing the good in people in this moment. And that is going to take away the added pressure of people having to constantly prove themselves in order to receive love and respect and validation from you. What I mean is that if your friend has lost 10 pounds, don't look at them and be like, oh, you still have a flabby stomach. Or if your friend has gotten $1 raise in their salary, don't say, well, it's not quite that enough. So that thing where we do the yes but thinking, where we say it's good, but this could be better. I think we really, as a culture, and especially as the next generation, really need to stop waiting to appreciate people. And it can also start very easily at home. We can start appreciating ourselves. If you have dropped 5 pounds, love yourself for dropping those 5 pounds. Don't be like, oh, I wanted to lose 10, but I've only dropped 5. That thing of dismissing ourselves, and by extension, dismissing other people, leads to this pandemic where we are never quite seeing people as they are. We are either overestimating them, we are either underestimating them, or we are completely dismissing them, which is what happened to me. Till my friend saw a credentialed prosecutor, attorney general, now the next VP, and now the new presidential nominee, till he didn't see her, he didn't see me. And that's not fair to me, because I deserve to be seen as I am now. Who we are in this moment is enough. Well, I can keep going, but it's time to wrap up. I will leave you with these 2 thoughts. One, I hope that whenever you have the moment, whenever you have the chance, that you will stand up for those who can't stand up for themselves. Then you will help give voice, give representation, see and hear all those who have thus far not been seen, heard, valued, cherished, and in fact have been outrightly dismissed. That's just our human duty. But I would also hope that you would extend the same courtesy to yourself, that you would be just as kind, just as appreciative, just as respectful of who you are right here, right now. See yourself as you are right here, right now, and you will see the world and respect the people as they are right here, right now. Remember, every time you choose to see somebody rather than outrightly dismiss them, you are making a difference in more ways than you can remember. So if this story resonated with you at all, or if there was something in it that you found jarring or triggering or exciting, please let me know. My intention here is to create a community where everybody just keeps uplifting each other's vibrations, and we start to look at the world in a way that is more positive and more life-affirming rather than dejecting and disappointing, which more and more seems to be the case. That's it, my friends. Remember, you are the magic. I will be back soon. Bye.